Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante, folks. Still ironing out some camera issues, but we got this dialed in. It looks good, right? We got the little logo in the corner. Isn't that fun? Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat and fun? Fun and neat. We got a great show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go over the FCC nominee, Gigi Sohn, who's also a supporter of EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and how she's getting smeared. Ron Placone is going to be on our show today to talk about that. And thank you, everybody, for watching on the YouTube, on the Facebook, and the Rock Fan. Hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. Blaze Saver Wolf is our moderator. I'm not sure if Holly can make it or not, but it's a little after 3 o'clock on the West Coast, 6:07 p.m. of the East Coast. Seven past the hour. I'm doing like radio drive. 75 minutes past the hour. So here we go. Checking all of that. Share this out on your social media, everybody. And I want to just, I don't know. We're not really going to talk about Epstein today, but I feel like at the very least, we should just look at this photo that was sent to me by one of you. That's why I say this is the People's Channel. This is the People's Channel. Hey, look, there's the Pope and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell being blessed by the Pope. Isn't that great? And they sent it to me. You guys always tag me, Gary Burnett plays Civil. That's a Civil War. All right on. It's like, hey, Graham, have you seen this? And I just said, all I posted was weird that the biggest pedophile in history and the biggest organization to protect pedophiles are all hanging out. I don't know. I don't think we should jump to conclusions that the head of the Catholic Church, which has actively protected pedophile priests, and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, two big sex trafficking pedophiles, were like, we shouldn't make a big deal out of it. It's like we should make a big deal out of the fact that Epstein and Maxwell were invited to Bill Clinton's White House, or that they were at their Clinton daughter's, Chelsea's wedding in 2011, or well, Ghislaine was. Or that Bill's been on Epstein's plane 26 times, or Hillary was on 2 times, or that Trump was on his plane 5 times, or or that people were trafficked out of Mar-a-Lago. We shouldn't talk about that Prince Andrew. There's enough evidence to literally charge him, extradite him from the UK, and put him on trial here in the United States. They can't do that. But they've got Julian Assange locked up in Belmarsh prison. Anyway, just good. Wanted to see just where we're at, how the world, what's happening today. Everybody's evil and awful. So it's not that I think the human race is done. It just feels like there's not much left. I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry. Trying to raise my chair. Well, let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. He is the host of Get Your News On with Ron, and shockingly enough, has the same name, Ron Placone, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Graham, what's up, buddy? That's, I've never seen that photo before, but boy, I mean, I don't, do you think the Catholic Church could handle bad press like that? I mean, they do such a good job keeping their noses clean about such a thing. I can't believe that could be a PR nightmare for them.
I know. You think the Catholic Church that has hired lawyers to in court say that repressed memories aren't real? You think that organization is going to handle this poorly? Is that what you're saying? I'm confused.
Were you raised Catholic? Were we both raised Catholic?
Yeah,
I was raised Catholic. Okay, all right. So we both got our papers just in case they're right. We got our freaking. I feel like if you went through the confirmation process, it's like, look, even if y'all are right, I don't think you are, but if you are, I still got my freaking papers. All I did was ask questions. Don't get mad at me. If it turns out your bullshit's right, I still get to go to the happy place, not the fire one. I still get to go. But you know how they did those commercials where they were just like asking people to rejoin? Because I don't know if you know this, folks, but a lot of people leave the Catholic Church. Can't imagine why, but a lot of people like they don't practice after a while. And the Catholic Church literally just did this thing like, we want you to come home. It's just like, well, here's a list of demands. I'd think about it. If you, what's going to change? Absolutely nothing. But please come home. Okay, that's not how reconciliation works. People left for a reason. Like you think like millions of people raised Catholic throughout the world were just like, oh shit, we just forgot about it one Sunday. Yeah, I should turn up again. No. They stopped going for a reason, Catholic Church PR department. They decided, I don't want this in my life anymore. For what reason? How much time do you have? Do you want the abbreviated list or the full list? We could go on all day as far as why. But you're just like, I'll just come home. Like, oh, I never thought. How successful were those commercials? I demand to know. I'm going to go to the Vatican. I'm gonna be like, how did those commercials work? You guys have plenty of freaking money. You charge people just to go to the gift shop, I think. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm assuming it is. But like, look, I actually went to the Vatican last time I was in Rome again.
Oh, wow.
Well, every time I've been to Italy, which I've been there 4 times, but every time I went, it was somebody's first time. And this time in particular, most recent time, it was my wife's first time. So it's like, okay, well, we got to spin all the hits. It's like her first time. We got to do Rome. We got to do Florence. We got to do, which is great. Like, I love it. But that means it was like my 4th time going to and I'm just like, babe, if we ever have kids, I don't think we're going to, but if we ever do, you're taking them to the Vatican if that's a thing. Like if that's the thing, like if they grow up in Italy by chance, like they're going to the Vatican and they need chaperones, that's on you. I ain't going a 5th time. All right, it's the same. The stories haven't changed. The art's great. The Sistine Chapel, it's amazing. 1 time's all you need. You don't need more than 1 time. But anyway, I hope the Catholic Church can survive if this photo gets out. I mean, I'm really worried about that. Maybe they'll start a GoFundMe or something. It's tough. They might be struggling.
I know the single greatest landowner on the planet might have trouble with money, who could literally sell 90% of their land and end poverty, but they won't. I'm sure that they're worried about a photo just confirming everybody's suspicions.
They have so much freaking money, dude. They all do. It's not just Catholicism. I mean, it's just like it's just so much, man. It really is the most amazing I mean, George Carlin said it best, but it's like, holy shit, man, what a racket. Don't pay a dime in taxes. People just give you money. Man, we should start a church. We probably should. We should just start. I mean, it's been started on lost bets before. Isn't that how Scientology started? Didn't that dude lose a bet? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, well, I lost a bet and I have an STD. I'm starting a church. Like, isn't that literally what happened? Or it's like something like that.
I don't know about the STD, but I definitely know the bet.
I think he had an STD. Something was weird with that guy. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Chat.
Something was weird with L. Ron Hubbard, Ron? Really? You're going out on a limb, right?
I think there was. I think he had some kind of. Maybe he didn't, but yeah, something's off with that guy. I'm pretty sure.
L. Ron's a little off. We'll go out on a limb. That's breaking news here in the Political Vigilantes. L. Ron Hubbard is a little off.
I was in a bookstore once, and he was in the political section. It was frightening. It was in Grants Pass, Oregon. And I was in this bookstore, and there was the political section. The political section consisted of Glenn Beck and L. Ron Hubbard. And I was like, I don't know if this town's for me. I don't really know. I've not heard good things, and yeah, this experience is sort of. And then somebody
Oh.
cursed me out in a crosswalk. I was crossing the street and I was just walking at an average pace, and this guy like rolls down his window and he was like, "Could you take any fucking longer?" And I'm like, "Dude, I just want to do my Saturday night show and drive home. All right, just whatever."
Wow, 3 strikes for Grants Pass, it sounds like. It's really
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Eugene, lovely place. Love Eugene. So, and of course Portland, you know, but Grants Pass, yeah, that was not a fun experience for me. I'm sure there's nice
Okay.
people there. If anyone's listening and you're in Grants Pass, check out your local bookstore, pick up some L. Ron Hubbard, and
Go in the political section and get the Dianetics book in the politics next to the Glenn Beck I've tricked
so
old
weird.
conservatives out of money for gold book or whatever he's got.
Was that his thing? He did the gold thing?
Oh yeah, he started pushing gold to his audience. Yeah.
Oh, of course he did. All right.
Yeah.
Well, better than, I mean, I don't know. It was it was either that or an energy drink he made in his basement. It was one of the two. He went gold.
Those are the only two options Glenn Beck had.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ever since he left Fox, he's just he's winging it now.
I'd get his energy drink. I absolutely would get his energy drink.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's not going to be vegan, Graham.
No,
Glenn Beck's energy drink is for sure not going to be vegan. It's going to be caffeine. It's going to be like chicken fat and windshield wiper fluid. That is going to be his energy drink.
An energy drink with chicken fat.
Yeah, and windshield wiper fluid. That's what it's going to be. And like probably some food coloring.
And it'll taste like black licorice, like just the worst. It'll just be just.
I enjoy although I like black licorice itself, but like a lot of black licorice adjacent stuff I don't really care for. Like I'm not a big what's the oh god, what's the liqueur that like kind of tastes like licorice? Jägermeister. Not a big Jaeger guy. I know you don't drink, but yeah, but Jaeger. It's the
when I drank, I didn't drink Jaeger.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is like, yeah, I don't really. I mean, I stopped drinking that when I was like 20. Like by the time I was like 20, I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'll just chill. I can't even buy it yet, but I'm not that desperate.
All right. Well, let's get into, as much as we should talk about Grants Pass and Jaeger. Let's get into this second segment.
Yeah, we should do that.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna just start the segment, and I'll do those articles you sent me, and then I'll bring you in to like correspond to enlighten all of us.
Okay.
Are you ready, buddy?
I was born ready. I'm ready as fuck.
You must have drank a bunch of chicken fat before the show.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I snorted it. So yeah, I'm ready.
I'm sorry. Could someone listening to this or watching the show please make a logo for Glenn Beck's caffeine and chicken fat energy drink? I trust someone in the chat.
And windshield wiper fluid. Don't forget about the third
windshield wiper fluid. Please put American Eagles and flags on it, and it's just please do that. I need that. I really need that today. So, all right, buddy. I'll bring you on in a second. All right, folks. Here we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Folks, it's been 2 years since we've been demonetized, so we're having a demonetization party. It's really exciting. YouTube demonetized us 2 years ago because we talked too much about Epstein. We talked about the JFK assassination on government secrets, and we do stuff calling out the American war machine, bombing Yemen and all this other stuff. So we've been demonetized. So you can see on the scroll below, those are great ways to support what we're doing here. And we appreciate your support. You get a lot of bonus content on Patreon and Rockfin. Rockfin is an awesome platform. It's blockchain and they pay us in cryptocurrency and they don't censor anybody, which I very much like. We've talked a lot about the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the work that they're doing in really to make sure that we have digital rights. And these digital rights have very much been under attack. We've done several segments on this, but now there's to head up the FCC, they're just using insane smear tactics, right? And this is Biden's pick. So I just want to show you, FCC nominee Gigi Sohn sits on a board of non-for-profit that wants to uphold online sex work that honored an OnlyFans dominatrix who boasts about urinating on faces. Gigi Sohn joined the board of the Electronic Frontier Foundation in 2018. In 2020, the EFF honored dominatrix. So they're making these insane, they're just going after her. And it's pretty awful, right? If confirmed, Sohn would sit on the FCC's Democratic majority 3-2. So what this really is about is a threat to the big tech companies that want to censor and have control over all aspects of the internet. So this article, it showed this, this photo, right? They want you to go, oh my God, this is what these awful liberals are doing. But it's gotten so insane, the smears, that even a former Preston Patton, ISP, is complicit in smear campaign against FCC nominee Gigi Sohn. So this is interesting because the main reason for the smear campaign is not, oh my God, she likes dominatrixes, whatever. It's to prevent, as it says in this article, Gigi Sohn from being seated as the 5th FCC commissioner. Former Fox and ABC Disney executive Preston Patton has written the chair of the Senate Commerce Committee to call out those tactics and advocate for Sohn, with whom he is not aligned politically. He's just saying this is nonsense, right? So she sits on the EFF, and the EFF, that's part of freedom of the press and freedom and right to expression, is that if you want to have an OnlyFans account where you're a dominatrix, you can do that. Oh my God, don't watch it. I don't watch that. I don't watch OnlyFans. Don't watch it. But this is really a bigger issue on what they're actually trying to do. And I want to bring on the show host of Get Your News On with Ron, who's a regular, has been on the show numerous times, Ron Placone, to shed a little more light on this. Ron, how you doing today?
Hey, Graham, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. So, yeah, as I'm sure a lot of the political vigilante crew already know, I'm a big net neutrality guy, digital rights guy, and, so a lot of layers here. So first of all, the public's mind is made up on net neutrality. Like 83% of the public is for it, and the other 17% is misguided on what net neutrality is. Because the internet as we know it would not exist without net neutrality. It would be an entirely different thing. Net neutrality is policy that assures that the internet is free and open, that internet traffic flows like flowing water. An ISP cannot put you in a designated slow lane. An ISP cannot have certain content load faster than others based on their ability to pay. Like, CNN.com paid the fee, political vigilante didn't, so one's going to load faster than another. They can't do that. It just has to let the internet flow as it should, like flowing water or like a phone call. That's what net neutrality is. Some of the net neutrality smears, people say, oh no, the net neutrality, that means the government controls the internet. No, it doesn't. It's a law that says that your ISP doesn't control your internet. That's what net neutrality is. And the public is decided on this. So Biden had to promise to appoint a pro-net neutrality FCC appointee. He did keep that promise. He nominated Gigi Sohn. Biden himself has never been great on net neutrality. In fact, he started off his campaign with a bunch of Comcast execs. So,
That's
Comcast,
weird.
Yeah, right. No kidding. So, but he did keep that promise because, they made him. And, but she has been sitting now for 2 years, which, by the way, just if you're not sure how historic that is, all of Trump's picks were confirmed within a matter of weeks. Usually this is like a couple week thing. It's been 2 years and counting for Gigi Sohn. It is absolutely absurd. And it's because, first of all, I don't think Biden really cares. So he's not using his bully pulpit. Chuck Schumer has a million conflicts of interest with big tech. And of course, there's the big right-wing smear campaign against her, being led by Republicans and some Democrats and just, right-wing media like Fox News.
I want to point this out real quick, because what you just laid out is just as sort of the perfect, the incremental centrism of the do nothing Democrat. This is their perfect scenario. We said we kept our campaign promise, but those Republicans are gumming up the works. Rather than like Joe Biden could, like you said, he could have put his foot down and said, make this happen, make it happen right now. But instead, he's like, we tried. Then they always end like they have no power. They're helpless little Democrats. It's like they play this crap all the time. This is their card to always play.
It is beyond frustrating, dude. And so now here's another little ironic thing I'll say before I continue. It's not totally unified across political lines. Gigi Sohn actually has a lot of support on the right, too. She has a lot of support on the left, but she also has support on the right, because guess what? Some of these right-wing media outlets that are internet-based, they know that a free and open internet is essential to what they do. So she has support from places like OAN and stuff like that, because, hey, they don't agree with her politics, but they're like, hey, just because we're on the right doesn't mean that we don't value a free and open internet as much as the left does. So even they're just like, yeah, confirm her, please. So, which again, that just speaks to how popular net neutrality is. Again, it's 83% of the public. It goes across political lines. It's not like some issue only lefties care about. It's anyone who cares about the internet should care about net neutrality, which is all of us. So, but their original smear against her was they pointed to a couple tweets she made about Fox News. And that didn't stick. They're like, who gives a shit? She doesn't like Fox News. How is that relevant? Whatever. She's a left-leaning person. Who cares? She doesn't like Fox News. Most people don't, except for the people who do. So whatever. So now they're trying to dive in a little deep here, and they're making this smear about the EFF had. Now there's a couple more layers to this. So this goes to acts like SESTA, FOSTA, and the SMART Act. These are pieces of policy that are sold to the public under the guise that they're cracking down on sex trafficking. They don't actually do that, though. What they do instead is they have these gross overreaches on data privacy. They have these gross overreaches as far as autonomy on the internet. And they actually make the internet a much more dangerous place. There was a bill here in California that was going to take encrypted messaging away from young people, which makes them so much more vulnerable online. That's so, and they're like, we're protecting our children. You're doing the opposite. So these bills are, at best, well-intentioned, but horrifically misguided. And at worst, just dystopian hell fronts. So it takes digital rights organizations like the EFF, like Fight for the Future, to sound the alarm and be like, hey, these things aren't what they're telling you they are, and we got to oppose these things. And then supporters of these bills will try to make it out like, oh, I guess you're sympathetic to something like sex trafficking, which is such a bullshit and so painfully insulting to even suggest. I wrote to Senator Feinstein, because that's my senator here in California. I wrote to her about the SMART Act saying, look, this is not what it's being sold as. And, I got a form email back basically implying it was basically a big long spiel against sex trafficking. As if what I was saying was, hey, sex trafficking's fine. Which, no, I'm talking about this policy. It's so insulting to people. But So that's where this smear comes from, because she was on the right side of the issue on bills like that. They're trying to be like, oh, yeah, so she's into blah, 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 blah. And of course, there's a homophobic component here because Gigi Sohn is gay. And so they're just like, oh, yeah, she just wants this dominatrix who pees on people. And look at this deviant and blah, blah, blah. Which, first of all, even if she was into that, that's freaking her business. What does that have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with the type of FCC commissioner she would be. I mean, you know, I'm one of these, hey, I think consenting adults can do whatever the hell they want. But, you know, like, she had nothing to do with, you know, that award. And a lot of times it's like people in the sex worker realm, you know, whether they have an OnlyFans or whatever else, they're usually on top of these issues because they're impacted by it. You know, so it's like, who cares that like a sex worker was well versed on these issues? So what? I mean, I know some sex workers who are well versed on these issues. So it's just a very bullshit, evangelical, baseless smear, and it's the last straw they're grasping at. But what really sucks is the indifference, largely by Democrats too. Like, no one's defending her. No one's saying, hey, this is a bullshit smear and it's homophobic. No one's doing that. Chuck Schumer's not, you know, applying any pressure to finally get this thing done. You know, it's just so painfully insulting. And it's so, as somebody who goes to the mat for policy, it is so frustrating for me, especially some of these people who, you know, they'll get on their freaking, you know, they'll yell into their webcams about, oh, well, we can work with the Democrats and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, here's a freaking easy win. Here's a win that we should have had freaking years ago. You know, how about shining a light on this? These are the wins we should be able to get easily, and we're still waiting.
And it's like the age-old tactic of, you know, that, like you say, all that evangelical stuff of like, oh, you know, these dominatrixes are going to come for your children or whatever. They're trying to make everybody gay or whatever their nonsense right wing. And of course, this is what the big corporations are good at doing is, and while the Democrats are good at being like dumb, the Republicans are good at, you know, using the family values to get people to vote against their own interests. But it's good to hear that it's not really working because, and I think this is true because the right has been, you know, so targeted, even more so in terms of censorship than the left. Although I've been demonetized for 2 years. You can support my show in the scroll below.
I don't actually agree with that, to be honest with you. I think that for every, I mean, yeah, it definitely goes across the aisles, absolutely. But I think if we really freaking kept a tally, for every, you know, Alex Jones, for instance, or something like that, you would probably see 4 or 5 pro-Palestinian rights sites,
for sure,
and anti-war sites that have been nixed. So, like, yeah, I don't buy that. Like, oh, the right is. I'm like, no, there's definitely not a left-wing bias on any social media. That's just not a freaking thing. It's actually the opposite. Facebook actually has a conservative lean, and the reason for that isn't because I think Mark Zuckerberg has a conservative bias himself. I mean, technically he's conservative by the world standards because he's like a CEO and like a capitalist, but it's because Facebook is generally speaking older, and Facebook just feeds you shit based on what you're interested in. So, you know, like people that are interested in right-wing content, they're going to get more of it.
Yeah, that's fair. You make very valid points. I guess I should rephrase it in saying the right views themselves as getting censored more.
That's fair.
which in this instance actually helps. It helps support of net neutrality, because then you can even say to the right, hey, you guys have been censored. They've always thought maybe they wouldn't get censored, and now they are. And so it is a valid thing, and it also, it helps the EFF argument and for net neutrality, and it blows up the conservative angle that they're trying to play here of being homophobic and you know, going after, you know, somebody who's a consenting adult doing whatever they want on OnlyFans, which is what OnlyFans is for. You can, like, I could set up a you know, I've had people want to see pictures of my feet. So I could make some money. I could do a,
Seriously?
oh yeah,
Did
dude.
you do it?
No way.
Why not? Dude, just if someone wanted a picture of my feet, I'd be like, yeah, dude, Venmo me. Like don't put anything in the subject line, but just freaking Venmo me and I'll send you my feet.
All right. Well, I guess I'll think about new revenue streams after the show's over. But
I
my
mean, dude,
point,
why not? It's just a picture. I mean, is there something wrong with your feet?
no, I would just feel weird knowing there's somebody out there going, yeah, I don't know. I would. My point is not whether or not I should have a foot fetish page on OnlyFans, Ron.
I
The
feel
point,
like we should get to the bottom of this. No pun intended, actually. I don't see why, like,
my buddies would make fun of me so hard if I don't know.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, good for you, man. I mean, no one asked to see my feet. The closest thing I ever got to something like that, as far as like just a flattering hey, was somebody tweeted at you know how they make like a sexy gingers calendar where like there's ginger guys and it's like not nude, but it's like, you know, you're a little scantily clad, and they said, I am boycotting your calendar until Ron Placone gets an invite. And I mean, I retweeted it. I was very flattered. I mean, I looked at the calendar and I was like, I don't think I'm in the league as most of these guys, but I'm still flattered that you thought I should be included. You know, they didn't
I'm
mention that my feet was the selling point, but you know, whatever it was about me.
I'm on board with this ginger calendar for starters. Like as a side issue, I'm definitely on board with the ginger thing. Maybe I'll rethink the whole foot fetish thing. But anyway, my point is that shaming like someone for being on OnlyFans is like, it's like shaming
Yeah,
someone for
it's
being on Twitch. It's what OnlyFans is for. You can it's like, you know, it's go for it. And so it's such a false, the smears that they're trying to use aren't even, they're old and false and don't make any sense. And
yeah.
it's good to see that most people are not falling for it. And
Well, and just to be clear too, like I know we said this, but just to like be totally clear, Gigi Sohn has nothing to do
right,
with this
right,
person. She has nothing to do
nothing to do
with
with it.
any of it. She is just on the board of the EFF, which is like one of the leading digital rights organizations in the country. And, you know, they collaborated with this person because, you know, like of these policy issues. It has everything to do with policy, and you know, they're not going to judge someone just because they're in sex work. Who cares? It's again,
Right.
it's irrelevant.
Yeah, because
So, you
it's
know,
really about the freedom of speech.
yeah, and the
And the
freedom, I mean, I love how there's like this certain evangelical tinge, which it makes sense in the United States because we're just a very puritanical country in so many ways. I mean, a lot of the people who first, you know, came over here and killed the people who were here first, they were very puritanical. Like they wanted to, you know, like the other religions weren't crazy enough for them, so they wanted their like they wanted like their own space or whatever. But it's just like when people are just like, well, most of the people who do OnlyFans, they wouldn't do it if they didn't need the money. I was like, oh, as opposed to all the other jobs that people just do for love of the game. Like all the people working in fast food, they're just doing that because it's fun. They don't need the money. It's just fun for them. Like it's like what's your problem? You know, like who are you to anyway.
no, Ron, there's somebody right now making a chalupa at Taco Bell just because they love it, just because for the art
Right.
of it.
Yeah, and it's like, and by the way, I'm not judging anybody. I mean, people got to do what they got to do to make a living, but it's like, you know, when these people take these evangelical stances, and then you hear people on OnlyFans that are just like, hey, I was busting my butt for minimum wage,
Yeah.
and now I'm done with my workday at like 10 a.m. because I just, you know, take a couple photos that my fans like, and that's it. And I live a pretty good life. I mean, you know, who are you to judge anyone else? You know, take a picture of your feet, Graham. I
I'm
think
done.
that
It's done deal.
yeah,
I'm starting an OnlyFans just for my feet. You won't know it's me, but you'll know it's me because it'll be like Batfoot or Gotham's feet or something like
yeah.
that.
There's got to be something so people know it's your feet. Yeah, because I mean, you want to get the early requesters. You know, they got to know that they've been made whole. But that could, I mean, dude, and then you could, I mean, that could fund various scripted projects, and it
All
could be
right.
like it could be like On Foot Productions, and it's just a freaking foot with like a circle. And then if anyone else, what's the deal with that production? Oh, Graham's Feet funded this. How was this movie funded? Graham's Feet.
I'm serious. Now I'm legitimately going to do this.
You got to do it, man. We got a pilot to make, Graham. Your feet are freaking.
Ron is just this like this producer is like, Graham, I don't give a shit. Put your feet, your knees, your butthole. I don't give a shit. Put it online and make some money so we can shoot these projects. I don't care.
It's like that scene in Barfly where Bukowski said like that producer guy said he was going to saw his arm off if they didn't make the movie script. Like that's like I have like a freaking iPhone and I'm like, you're taking a picture of your feet, Graham, or I'm burning down the apartment. We got to get this thing made.
So, someone in the chat boat, shave your feet for justice. That's what I'm going to do, guys.
Well, ask the requesters, so, find out like, what do they want, an all natural foot, or do they want a freshly shaved foot?
I mean, what do you think the big, to be like me washing my feet? Or anyway, let me finish this segment.
Find out if they want a video. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got plenty of time to get the details. Maybe they want like a post surfing foot, like you're just like you're washing off in like the beach, like little foot shower. Maybe that's
that's how it started, because I was on Instagram and I was like, get done surfing, and I would just like take an Instagram, like a reels or whatever. I just kind of pan across the beach, my surfboard, and like my feet would kind of unintentionally be in the video. And then I'd get these like
unintentional, you say.
But I'm not the creep in this scenario, Ron. I'm not. Someone would I'd get DMs like, hey man, nice feet, or can I get more feet photos? And I'd be like, like, it really threw me off. I've been hit on by men. I'm not offended by that, whatever. It's like, I'm flattered when a gay guy hits on me. I was like, oh sweet, Uncle Graham still got it or whatever.
Sure.
But the foot thing, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I get it, man. I mean, it's certainly not for, it's a weird, I mean, I try not to yuck anybody's yum, so I don't get, I don't get why feet do it for some people, but it does. And, to each their own. If that's your thing, that's your business. But, yeah, man, if someone's willing to pay for a picture of your feet, fuck yeah, why not?
All right, well, while I'm setting up my OnlyFans, I want you to just go to this. This is the
right. There is a call to action here, folks.
Really? I thought you guys were just talking about weird OnlyFans pages. What's Ron? Tell everybody. Let me just get this link so I can put it in the chat. Tell everybody what the call to action is.
Yeah, so the call to action is we're going to call on our Democratic leaders to, first of all, say something about this and be like, hey, these homophobic smears are freaking disgusting. And also, let's confirm her to the FCC. It's been over. It's like comically absurd at this point. Over 2 freaking years. This should have been done literally years ago. It is beyond absurd. Gigi Sohn is beyond qualified for this. She has over 30 years of experience serving the public in these capacities. Trump's picks had no qualifications whatsoever. Just literally, they had no experience. And they were confirmed within weeks. Like Obama's picks were confirmed quickly. This is the first time there's ever been something like this in recent history, maybe ever, to be honest. And it's just because they know that she is the pro-net neutrality vote that's going to give the FCC a 3-2 majority in favor of net neutrality. They don't want that to happen. So they're doing everything they can to stall. And unfortunately, the powers that be don't really care that much. So go to battleforthenet.com. Like, you have the full link in there, but you can just go to battleforthenet.com too. It takes you all to the same place. And please sign that petition. It takes a matter of seconds. And please help us out. Battleforthenet.com.
Well, Thank you, Ron Placone. There's the link. Let me pull that down. Thanks for being on the show today, everybody. Please go to that battleforthenet.com and sign up. It's where you can make your voices heard to support net neutrality and get Gigi Sohn on the thing, on the FCC's board. So, Ron, where can people find you online? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I got some tour dates coming up. I'm going to be doing some shows in Los Angeles. I'm going to be working on my hours. So February 10th, April 14th, and May 12th, I'll be doing shows at the Glendale Room. And then I'm hitting the road some in June. June 16th, Madison, Wisconsin. June 17th, Minneapolis, Minnesota. June 29th, Chicago, Illinois. Tickets for those shows are available now. And you can use the promo code Lucy at checkout for discounted tickets. And June 23rd, I'll be in Detroit. Tickets aren't available for that yet, but I will announce it as soon as they are up. And you can get tickets for all those shows at cgramsfeet.com. No. You can get tickets for all those shows at ronplacone.com. And for the Midwest shows, don't forget the promo code Lucy, but ronplacone.com for all those tickets. And you can get your news on with Ron wherever you get your podcasts. And Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Ron Placone. You know it.
Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice. Yeah, I'll have some tour dates I'm going to be announcing soon. I'm just locking down Phoenix and Tucson in April. And then I've got dates in Hawaii at the end of April, Maui, and the Big Island and Oahu, but I'll be releasing all those tour dates soon. And of course, my comedy drops March 2nd on All Things Comedy's YouTube channel. So thank you so much. Boom. Ron, you got time for a You Should Know This?
Yeah, I got time for a quick one. Let's do it.
To surprise, you should know this. My favorite thing to do. Here's Ron's website, by the way. I'm putting it on the screen, ronplacone.com, for all of his tour dates. Check that out. Like, share, subscribe, and subscribe to Ron's channel. And if you're a Ron fan, subscribe to mine. Get after it. All right, buddy. So, folks, this is You Should Know This, the popular trivia game show where Ron, very knowledgeable about music, will say a line from a popular song, and I will try to guess it. And I don't know music at all. And then I will say a line from a popular movie because I'm very knowledgeable about movies, and Ron thinks everything is a TV show.
Everything's a TV show.
Sopranos. All right, Ron, what is our first thing? Song, lyric, I should know.
All right. So this is well, I won't give any, but yeah, you should definitely know this one, but it's a slightly, well, all right, anyway. Sell the kids for food, weather changes moods. Spring is here again, reproductive glands.
Sell the kids for food? Can you do it again?
Sell the kids for food. Weather changes moods. Spring is here again. Reproductive glands. And keep going.
The Doors.
No, not the Doors. Good guess, though. In a way, you're close, actually. In a way, you're close. It's not the same era as the Doors, but this band has something in common with the Doors. Here, I'm going to do the chorus because I bet you're going to get it if I do the chorus. He's the one who likes all our pretty songs, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun.
Oh, this is Nirvana.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
He's the one
who likes all our pretty
songs. And
do you know the name of the song?
But he don't know what it is.
Don't know what it means. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Is that the name of the song?
It's In Bloom. Yeah, but Nirvana.
All right.
Yeah, good job, dude. Good job.
I know Nirvana. I know that.
It's a little, I mean, that was definitely a hit. It wasn't quite a hit the way Smells Like Teen Spirit was a hit, but it was a pretty big radio hit. So, yeah, classic song. That whole album is just unbelievable. Like
I
it's so freaking.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard a lot of Nirvana. That's a band I could recognize, and I do like Nirvana.
Yeah, they're great.
They're great. I must say, I like Pearl Jam better, but I like Nirvana.
Well, all right. I mean, that's it's. They're actually, you know what? I will say this. I don't agree with that music wise, but the guys in Pearl Jam are actually pretty good dudes. Like the bass player builds skate parks on
Mhm.
on like native reservations and stuff
Yeah.
to give young people a place to go and stuff. So
Yeah, he's awesome for that. He's awesome for that.
it's pretty cool. So
What-
they do some pretty cool stuff.
Chris Fairbanks kind of knows him and was going. He went to a couple of those parks or whatever. And when I was doing the show at FNX, we were talking about trying to make some sort of doc series about that, which would be just really cool to focus on that. But we never came to fruition. But
Should, man,
right,
yeah.
wouldn't that be
Well,
awesome?
I guess Fairbanks. They're both Montana guys, right?
Yeah.
Because the guy from Pearl Jam's from Montana, and so is Fairbanks.
And I think that's
So
where it started.
do they all know each other? Like, do all Montana people just know each other? Is that
Yeah, probably because there's like 300 people in the whole state or whatever.
All Montana people that have like done something else, they all know each other. Like, I'm a musician, I'm a comedian. Well, of course we know each other. We're from Montana.
We have to know each other. In fact, I think that's where he built, if I'm not mistaken, where he built his first skate park was on a reservation in Montana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it started there, but he's up to like over 30 parks now. Because
really?
they just got, yeah, dude. Because the guy, I actually covered this. I did like a fun short on this for Status Quo. The guy Frank from the Pixies, Frank Black from the Pixies, and I guess one of the guys from Blink-182, I'm assuming like Mark Hoppus or whatever, they both donated boards, like custom boards, to help with the parks. So you know, there was a like nice little article where they were just like the "Where is my mind" and the "All the small things" rockers combined to, you know, it was a fun little like whatever. But I mean, I'm more of a Pixies guy than a Blink-182 guy, but you know, it's still cool that they did that.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me think of a movie here, Ron. A line from a popular, famous movie. Oh, I've got something here. Hold on. Take that down. I've got something here. Okay. Here we go. In my home, where my wife sleeps and my children play with their toys. In my home.
Air Force One.
Is that the Kurt Russell?
That was like where he wanted to go. He was like, in my home, where my wife sleeps. I feel like I've heard this. In my home, where my wife sleeps. I
feel like you have too.
Okay, so this is like an obvious classic. It's a drama, right? No?
Yes.
And now, is Harrison Ford involved? Because like I know Air Force One was not, but I'm feeling a little bit Harrison Ford. Is that right?
No.
Wrong? No, not Harrison.
No, but I'll make. All right, I'll say this. Well, this is a thin line, but the director of the movie that I quoted, was good friends with a movie that Harrison Ford was in. Several movies that Harrison Ford was in.
Yeah, that's not gonna do much for me. Like oh yeah, they used to play poker. Like yeah, all right. I don't freaking that's nice. In my home, because I actually thought Fugitive for a second, but he didn't have any kids, so that wouldn't add up.
But wow, that's a good Harrison Ford movie to pick in terms of like a drama.
Yeah.
The first Fugitive with Harrison Ford. Wow, that's a good one.
Well,
That,
he was like, he was in my home,
Right.
but it's like, but the kids, I'm like, well, he didn't have kids though. So that's like why I didn't actually guess it. I'm like, no, it's not the Fugitive. Okay. In my home where my children play with their toys. Peter Pan. That's what Wendy says that when she wants to go home. No?
No.
Peter Pan's kind of a drama.
Yeah, but this is not it. Do you want another line from the movie? Or do
Yeah,
you want...
yeah. Give me another one or some kind of hint.
Let's see. I'm smart. I can do things. I'm not like people say.
Forrest Gump. That's not Forrest Gump. Isn't that?
No, but man, you're close. You are close. That's not a crazy guess because he does say,
Okay.
I might not be a smart man, Jenny.
Well, no,
but
he
I
said
know
he's
what,
not. Yeah.
I'll
be a good husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what love is, Jenny.
Yeah, he had the God. What a fucking sad movie. The movie's so depressing. Good, but goddamn. All right. So I'm smart. I can do things. Wait, that's not High Fidelity. No, that's not High Fidelity. He was like, I've read stuff. That was High Fidelity. Where he's like, I've read books. That's about girls, right? That's
all good guesses, and they're all.
Yeah, I know.
But you're not in the right era.
Yeah, no, I get it. Are we talking 80s, 90s? Like what era are we in?
This would be the 1970s.
Oh fuck! All right. Oh, that's where I'm like really not great. I mean, I'm not great in any of them, but it's like the further back, the worse I get.
You're not
the
further
further back. I'm like, oh fuck. Oh man. Stripes.
Stripes, full on comedy, also came out in the 80s.
Damn it! I knew that was
This is not a comedy, Ron. This is a drama.
All right. God, I don't know. Let's see here. I'm smart. I can do things. In my home. Oh. God, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm gonna need another hint of sorts.
Well, I can give you. I'll do this one first. When he was killed, I wasn't upset. He was headstrong, loud, and I knew this is the life we chose.
Oh, so this is a war movie, right? No? All right.
It's not a war movie.
It's not a war movie. It's definitely a drama. This is the life we chose. So this is a cop thing, right? It's a cop drama.
Cops are involved, but it's not a cop drama.
God damn it. All right. I'm probably not gonna get this. But I'm gonna try. All right, Pink Panther.
I mean, in the sense that that's a crime drama. That's about a criminal, right?
It's not a drama, though, isn't it? It's
the very first one is kind of a. It's not a wacky. The very first one with David Niven actually came out in the 60s.
Serpico.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm just guessing dramas I've heard of.
You're very, very close.
All right.
Because Serpico is about one honest cop amongst a bunch of corrupt cops in New York. And it's the same lead actor.
Oh, it's Al Pacino?
Well, the first line I said in my home, that's Al Pacino. The other lines were from other characters in the movie.
Badlands.
What? What?
I'm just guessing like 1970s dramas.
Are you on IMDb or something, Ron?
No, I'm just throwing out titles that I like at least know, and I think are from the 70s.
No.
I mean, I'll probably say something from the 90s in like a minute. I'm like Star Wars.
Al Pacino.
Yeah.
In the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know the movie where he robs the bank, but that's not. Is that this?
No, that's Dog Day Afternoon. But that's another great
one.
Al Pacino movie in the 70s.
I've seen that movie. Yeah. I've seen that one. That's a good one.
Directed by Sidney Lumet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that was a Lumet, like a Lumet
one. Way to sell it, buddy. That was awesome. Oh, of course. Yeah, that's a
totally.
Lumet,
that was a. We called them Lumineers. That was what we call them. The Long Goodbye.
What's that?
The Long Goodbye.
No, Ron.
Dirty Harry.
All right. I really need you to think about Al Pacino classic movies from the 70s that involve cops, but it's not a cop movie.
I named all the ones I know, but let's see. I mean, it's not The Godfather. Is it? It's not. Is it The Godfather? Godfather 2.
There. It's Godfather 2.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember that from Godfather 2.
Oh my God. Al Pacino, in my home where my wife sleeps, where my children play with their toys, in my home.
Oh, okay. I've actually seen this one. I've seen Godfather 2. Yeah.
And then I was quoting Fredo when he's like, he goes, I'm your kid brother, Mikey, and I was passed over. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm smart.
Oh, yeah. I'm smart.
I could do things.
Fuck. Dude,
I'm not dumb. Not
if
like
you
people
would've done
say.
I got passed over, I think I would have got it. I think that would have jogged it out.
That was
Man,
the
I got to
next line I was
revisit
gonna do.
Godfather 2. I haven't yeah.
If you hadn't have gotten it, if you would have asked for another line, I would have done I got passed over, and you would have gotten it.
I probably would have gotten it. Yeah, dude. Well, I probably would have said Godfather first, and you would have been like, "You're really fucking." I would have been like Godfather 2, and then yeah, I for sure would have just guessed the first one first.
The third line, that was Hyman Roth, which was played by Lee Strasberg, who was Al Pacino's acting teacher, and he talks about when Mo Green, he was headstrong, talking loud. And when he died, I didn't ask who ate the order, because this is the life we chose.
Yeah,
which,
man. Classic.
I always think of that line anytime I'm like frustrated with show business or being a comedian or whatever. I always think, this is the life we chose. Like, nobody put a gun to my head and told me to be a comedian and do this. So I always got to like, all right. I always think of that.
I feel you, dude. Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen the third one, though. I've never seen the third Godfather. I heard it's not great. Yeah,
it's not great. It's
second one's great. First one, I mean, I like the first one the best. I think the first one is just the best. But
have you watched The Offer, the series on Paramount Plus about the making, what they had to do to get the movie made?
No. Did they have to sell foot photos?
Yes.
I gotta check this out.
Yes, they sold foot photos. No, it's awesome. It's on Paramount, and it's like Miles Teller plays Al Ruddy, who's the producer who got The Godfather made. And then I forget the British actor's name. He plays Bob Evans. He plays a great Bob Evans. And if you can, watch the series, because it's so awesome. Because I literally halfway through the series, I called a buddy of mine and was like, are they going to get this made? Like, I wasn't like, is Godfather going to get made? So it's really cool. But yeah, God 2, I would say, is probably the best sequel ever made.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, unless the only thing I would say that kind of can touch it as far as like dynasties go would be like Star Wars.
Right.
But are those really sequels, or are those just like continuing the story? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're kind of continuing the story. I mean, especially if you think about, and then Godfather 2 won all these, even more Oscars than Godfather 1.
Yeah, I mean, I like the original the best, but Godfather 2 is pretty banging. Third one, never saw a third one, but yeah, I got to revisit it now. I'm like, man, I got to revisit the Godfathers.
They're worth watching. They're so they're masterpieces. They're like, there's not a frame that's like, well, that scene was a little off. The rest of the movie's great. It's not. Everything is amazing in those movies.
Yeah, it's one of those pitch perfect movies, man. And like so many classic, leave the gun, take the cannoli. Even I would get that one. If you ever do that one, I'll get that one right away.
Right.
Like, that's like, you can't not. But yeah. All right. Nirvana and dude, very classic choices by both of us. Nirvana and Godfather 2.
Yeah, that was solid business, Ron. Well,
yeah. Now we just need, man, what if like he's too old, but it'd be interesting if Al Pacino played Kurt Cobain in something. He could pull it off. I mean, not he's too old now, but like a young Al Pacino could have pulled off Kurt
You
Cobain.
think a young Al Pacino could have pulled off Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, totally. I mean, they don't look a ton alike. So I mean, he would have needed like a blonde wig and some stuff like that. Like there would have been some work, but I think he totally could have pulled off Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, buddy. We'll never know, I guess, unfortunately. So that's
we'll never know, man. Well, at one point Brad Pitt was going to play him, but then that biopic never came into.
That would have been great.
I think Brad Pitt would have been really interesting. It was back when, well, I think it was back when Courtney Love and Ed Norton were a thing. So like Courtney Love was kind of cool with it, but then because I think what ended up happening instead of that was Fight Club. Because it was like Brad Pitt was involved, Ed Norton was involved, and then things just didn't materialize for it. And I think their relationship also didn't work out. And so I don't know if the two are related or not, but like, and then Fight Club happened instead. So, which great movie. I mean, great book, great movie, Fight Club. But
yeah. It's funny hearing people say like, "Oh, that movie's about toxic masculinity or whatever." And it's like, no, that movie's about capitalism.
Yeah.
It's really showing how awful capitalism is and how to blow it up. It's fascinating. Well, dude, thanks for coming on the show today, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for letting us know all about the net neutrality.
Well, thanks for highlighting it. I mean, a lot of people don't like to cover this issue because it's not the most like clicky issue in the world. But you know what? It's because, we're really fighting hard to keep it. And it's something that we're on the verge of losing. Like we've been fighting for years now, and we're like literally on the verge of losing this fight. And if we do, it's like the internet as we know it is going to be a thing of the past. So. Yeah, that's true. Well, all right, everybody, go to ronplacone.com, check out his tour dates, check out his show, and we will see you soon. All right. Peace, man. Good seeing you.
Later. Ron Placone, everybody. Ron Placone. All right. All right, everybody. That is our show. Everybody in the hat. Which fight is this? Fight Club. Basic communication is so boring. I know. Yeah. Club is good. Yes. Wow. Serpico still looks good. That's cool. All right. Nirvana's a personal favorite. Right on, everybody. All right. Ron is 100% for collective. The mainstream media gets control of the internet. We'll be talking about today being the good old days of free access to information years to come. Yep. Carlito's Way is a good classic. Did you see Massachusetts legislation allows prisoners to sell their organs for 60 days early release? Jesus Christ. It's a barbaric society. Holly's here. Good to have you. All right, everybody. Don't ask me about my business, Kate. All right. That is our show. We will be tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern, to do Government Secrets. Check that out. It'll be our 112th episode. So 11 a.m. tomorrow, 2 o'clock Pacific. Jesus Christ. 11 a.m. Pacific, o'clock Eastern tomorrow, Thursday, February 2nd, Government Secrets Live. Thank you to Holly Horn. Thank you to Blaze Silver Wolf and all of you in the chat. I very much appreciate it. And thank you to watching on the Facebook and the YouTube and the Rockfin. We really appreciate it. We appreciate it so much. All right, let me just click that out there. And of course, thank you to Ron Placone for letting me know about this. Thanks, Graham and crew. Be strong, everyone. Absolutely. Have a great night. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, and shave your knuckles for justice. Go to grahamelwood.com, sign up for the newsletter. I'll be announcing tour dates very, very soon. Have a good night. Shave your knuckles for justice. Bye.